Hello again. For this video we are going to be looking at using both direct object pronouns and indirect object pronouns in the same sentence at the same time. I'm going to review for you really quick again what those pronouns are. So the direct object pronouns, words like me, you, it, we, and those, or them maybe, are me, te, lo, la, nos, os, los, las. So these are words like I eat them. Instead of saying como los tacos, I eat the tacos, I could say los como, I eat them. If you haven't seen my video already on direct object pronouns, go back and watch that one before we do this one. I'm assuming now that you've seen that or you have learned this concept. The indirect object pronouns, these are changing things like to him, to her, to us, to them, to pronouns. And those pronouns are me, te, le, nos, os, les. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you 10 sentences. The sentences are going to be familiar to you if you watch my video on indirect object pronouns. They're going to be the exact same sentences, but the difference here is that I'm going to show you how to make these sentences. We're going to make them up using both the direct object pronoun and the indirect object pronoun at the same time. This can be kind of tricky. If you're good at like puzzles or math, it usually seems to be easier for those people for some reason. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to give you 5. I'm going to show you how they all work, and I'll give you the other 5, and then you can do those on your own, see if you can get them right, and then hopefully you'll be understanding it by the time we're done with this video. So here come the first. Before we get to number 1 on the board behind me here, there's a couple rules that I want to specify to you. I want to remind you that if you have just one verb in a sentence, you're going to put your pronouns before the conjugated verb. That's the first rule that you want to know. 2 is that when you're doing 2 pronouns, put the indirect object pronoun before the direct object pronoun. The easy way to remember this, I think, is that typically the indirect object pronouns refer to people, and not always, but sometimes the direct object pronouns will refer to things. And in life, you should always put people before things. So the people, the indirect object pronouns, put that before the direct object pronouns. And then rule number 3 is if you have 2 pronouns together and they both start with the letter L, for example, le is the indirect object pronoun for him or her, or usted, and then lo is the direct object pronoun for it, for like el taco would change to lo. If you ever have those 2 together, the first one, the le, has to change to a se. So if it's lay and low, or lace and la, or lace and los, anything, if they both start with an L, the first one, the lay or the lace, has to change to a se. And my cousin, who's also a Spanish teacher, how she remembers it, and I guess it helps out now me as well, or my students as well now, is she says to her Spanish students, you can't lay low in Spanish class. You have to participate, you have to be there, you can't lay low, playing on the words lay and low together. So if you ever have the 2 L's together, change the first one to a se. And if it's the lace, the indirect object pronoun for them, you don't change it to ses, S-E-S, you just change it to lay still. You still change it just to se. So if it's lace and low, you change the lace to se. If it's lay and lows, you change the lay to se. So hopefully that makes sense. It's going to be relevant to this first one we're going to do right now. That's why I'm explaining it to you. So number 1 says, doy la cuenta a Pablo. I give the bill to Pablo. La cuenta is the direct object noun. Changing it to a pronoun, it would change to la. Pablo is the indirect object noun. He is going to change to the pronoun le. So I have la and le. Put the people before things. So we're going to flip the 2. And then your conjugated verb is doy. Put them in front of the conjugated verb. So I give it to him would be se la doy. I'm using se because I'm changing Pablo to se because I have 2 L pronouns together. Number 2, pasas el balón a mí, so you pass the ball to me. El balón will change to lo. A mí would change to me. I'm going to put those 2 in front of the conjugated verb, people before things, so your new sentence, you pass it to me, would be me lo pasas. Number 3, mandamos la carta a ellos, so we send the letter to them. The letter will change to it, la. A ellos, them, would change to the pronoun lace. So we have la and lace. Flip them, because we put the people before things. In front of the conjugated verb, we have 2 pronouns. They both start with an L. Change the first one to se. So your new sentence, we send it to them, would be se la mandamos. Number 4, el maestro sirvió las zarzamoras a ti. So the teacher served the, blackberries to you. The blackberries would change to las, the tea would change to te. So your new sentence would be, el maestro te las sirvió. He served them to you. And then lastly, digo la verdad a mi madre. So I tell the truth to my mom. The truth, la verdad, would change to la. A mi madre would change to le. But the people before the things, you have le and la and digo. Put those in front of the conjugated verb. You would normally you'd have le, la, digo, but you can't have the two L's together. Change the first one to say. So say la digo. I tell it to her would be your new sentence. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to give you 5 more sentences. They both have a direct object noun and an indirect object pronoun next to them. I want you to change them both to their, or an indirect object noun next to it. Change them both to a pronoun. Put them in front of the verb. If they're both L's, change the first one to say, and see if you can come up with the correct sentence. So when they come up, pause the video, because then it's only going to last like 5 seconds, and then I'll start explaining the answers to you. Pues número 6, muestran el arte a nosotros. They show the art to us. El arte, lo, a nosotros, nos. La nueva oración es, nos lo muestran. They show it to us. 7, ella preguntó la hora a mí. La hora, la. A mí, me. Ella me la preguntó. 8. Recomiendo el jamón a tu madre. El jamón, lo. A tu madre, le. Se lo recomiendo. I recommend it to her. I have the say because you have to change the le to say when you have the two L's. 9. Traigo las flores a tu novia. Las flores, las. A tu novia, le. Se las traigo. I bring them to her. Y el número 10, envían el paquete a nosotros, el paquete, lo, a nosotros, nos lo envían. So those are the other 5 sentences. I hope that you're understanding this. I'm going to do another pronoun video after this one on using the pronouns with multiple verbs in a sentence. It's not, well, just watch it when it comes out. It's just another way to do it. It's some more to learn. It's not necessarily more difficult. It's just different. So check that out. Also, if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll get back to you. Thank you.